There is no way to reverse the fact that this little girl has millions of people in the world who can recognize her by face, millions of people in the world who can recognize her by name, millions of people in the world who can recognize her mom by face, millions of people in the world who can recognize her mom by name. It does not reverse the fact that she is now a highly recognizable figure as a toddler.
Hi Curslings. Today we are talking about Wren Eleanor, a topic that I have been procrastinating because, frankly, the darker sides of family vlogging are a bummer. Especially when certain examples stray into the realm of true crime, like Ruby Frankie and the 8 passengers.
911, tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house. He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty.
Okay.
Or when horrible things happen, like that baby that was left alone for 10 days in a playpen while her piece of shit mother went on vacation.
Fast forward to this month, and Cristel Calendario is charged with her daughter Jaileen's murder. Court documents show the 31-year-old admitted to leaving her baby home alone June 8th while she went on vacation to Puerto Rico and Detroit. When Calendario returned home 8 days later, police say she found Jaileen unresponsive.
So topics like this are hard for me because I'm also a mom. So I find content based around harm and actual abuse to be very difficult to engage with. And of the 3 things I just mentioned, the Wren Eleanor controversy is probably the more palatable one, if making your content PDF file bait can be called palatable. Now, I made a short a while back about it while I was researching the topic, as one of my longtime subscribers, Bella, reminded me that the Doherty Dozen had actually compared H to Wren Eleanor in their Dupes Part 1 over a year ago.
Wren Eleanor dupe?
Back then, I didn't know who Wren Eleanor was.
But we need to talk about the Wren Eleanor and Jacqueline situation.
So Wren Eleanor is
Wren Eleanor.
Wren Eleanor's mother.
for her daughter Wren. It's
Wren Eleanor.
Wren Eleanor controversy.
Wren Eleanor and all of that, Wren's mom and how she's exposing her child.
She had never come across my For You page. The Doherty Dozen, Heather Bell, Jessica Kent, those creators had, but not Wren Eleanor. Probably because I don't have an interest in content where the child is the primary focus, because it's weird. So I never came across her in the wild. Then, in July of 2023, the Wren Eleanor controversy made it into a Rolling Stones article, which highlighted concerns and complaints made by her anti-community over the last couple of years. My For You page was then hit by recent Wren Eleanor discourse when her mother, Jacqueline Paul, made this statement on TikTok, which only served to fan the flames further.
The past few months have been incredibly distressing, and I've learned a lot. I'm not sure how this conspiracy theory got started and spiraled out of control. What you need to know is that no law enforcement agencies I conferred with, including the FBI, have found any proof that my daughter's likeness appears on inappropriate websites. These rumors are 100% false. If anyone has real tangible proof, please contact me immediately. My email appears within my TikTok profile. What is true, Wren is a happy, healthy 3-year-old. The videos we film together from my account a couple of hours a week are fun and lighthearted. TikTok analytics show that my followers are 76.8% female. That's more than 13 million females, including lots of moms. And I thank you for watching and for your interest in my family.
Now, having talked about the Doherty Dozen and this Mad Mama for over a year or so now, I have learned that some people get outraged over the smallest things. And that as content creators, it's in our best interest to do our due diligence and investigate the source of that outrage and then make a judgment call instead of just blindly believing whatever anyone tells us.
I cannot believe we are about to get into something about tampons and baby socks and laundromats. Yes, this is what it has come to, people.
Instead, we should determine whether or not we agree, we don't agree, and more importantly, if it merits a video. And when it came to Wren Eleanor, the primary question I had going into that research was whether or not it was as bad as everyone was yelling, and it's bad. Which honestly makes me question how someone like Alicia Doherty, who was clearly aware of the account, could compare one of her own children to what Jacqueline was doing. It baffles me. Keep in mind, though, that not every video is like this.
Street corn. Foot-long corn dog.
And not every video is still up on her page, like the infamous tampon video. But enough are still public to make you wonder what Jacqueline's true intentions are, and if she's aware of what she's doing. Because I think she is. And I have the perfect example for you. See, Jacqueline likes to use suggestive thumbnails for her TikToks, something which creators have full control over and can manually set both on TikTok and on YouTube. In this particular video, Jacqueline chose a frame of Wren eating pizza. In fact, Jacqueline likes to use thumbnails of Wren with her mouth open quite a bit, which has certain graphic connotations if you catch my meaning. But in this particular example, the still that Jacqueline chose only occurs for a few seconds in the video, the rest of which is just standard vlog stuff, a kid at a fair doing kid stuff.
I got you. That one what? Take that one up there.
Yet, of all of the frames that Jacqueline could have chosen, she chose this one. Then there's this example, just a couple videos over, of Wren holding 2 apples to her chest as though cupping something else.
Do you want to find some apples?
Yeah.
Good job.
I need some more.
Do you want to put them in the bag?
Yeah.
I don't know if she was coached into holding the apples that way or what. Maybe I've become a prude overnight somehow, I don't know. And as much as I want to explain this away as innocent, like so many other parents have done in Jacqueline's defense, when you hold this example up with all of the other examples of problematic content decisions on her page, an upsetting truth starts to unfold. And this is just the tame stuff, because it gets worse, so much worse. Because Jacqueline also likes to dress Wren in swimsuits and do little fit checks and have her eat phallic foods, like this hot dog. Pickle. And this drumstick.
Turkey leg.
And this licorice-like candy. banana and this ice cream wrapped in a fruit roll-up.
We gotta find out if we like it or not, okay?
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Mommy, for a little roll up.
Which I'm going to unblur her face for you so that you can see how this 4-year-old little girl maintains eye contact with the camera while she eats it. Then there's the infamous frozen honey challenge. What does that look like to you? And then, of course, there's the whipped cream video, which goes on for a very awkward amount of time as Jacqueline keeps forcing her toddler, who looks like she's maybe a year and a half old, to have cream shot directly into her mouth. Which, just writing that sentence, by the way, and saying it out loud is awful. It's just, no. But what's especially horrible about the whipped cream example is that it's obvious that the child is not enjoying it. But despite this, not only does Jacqueline keep filming it, but she also keeps doing it over and over, subjecting Wren to this same thing that she's clearly not enjoying. Then there's, the angle she's filming from and the angle she's holding the whipped cream can and spraying it into Wren's mouth. I'm sure we could do a full video analysis of the physics of that whipped cream can if we wanted, but I think most of us will agree it's suggestive. In fact, it's reminiscent of the scenes highlighted in the docuseries about Nickelodeon, Quiet on Set, and the shots. As adults, we're all very aware of how this stuff looks. We're capable of making a judgment call and deciding whether or not videos and thumbnails like these ones are going to be interpreted the way we want them to or viewed as something they're not. Especially if we are adults who have seen at least one corn video in our lifetime, if not a spicy movie, which chances are probably. Now, I imagine this is the part where the Wren Eleanor defenders and devil's advocates burst into the courtroom and say, only pervs would look at this content and think that. When you're absolutely correct. Pervs will look at this content and see it through a pervy lens. That's kind of the problem. Not to mention that you don't have to be a perv to see how this could be problematic, how it could attract the wrong audience. You just have to have a pair of eyes and some common sense, really. There's a reason why these videos get higher views and saves compared to other videos. Take this TikTok of Wren being a regular little girl doing regular little girl things, for example.
This lollipop is bussin'.
It's adorable. And based on the views and saves, it was not that interesting to the kind of audience Jacqueline has curated. Compare that to a video like this one, where it's clearly baiting a specific audience, and the views and saves on it are, unsurprisingly, super high. And according to the Rolling Stones article, something the internet realized was that a bunch of the accounts that were interacting with the Wren Eleanor content were also following other questionable accounts on TikTok. In other words, pervs. Now, something that the Quiet on Set docuseries brought attention to was just how many PDF files were working on Nickelodeon and Disney sets throughout the 90s and 2000s and interacting with minors, including victimizing them.
And all of a sudden I noticed she had suddenly shut down the computer completely and got up and ran into her bedroom and slammed the bedroom door shut. And I said, Brandy, what is wrong? She started to cry and she said, I got an email from Jason. It was a picture of him naked, masturbating.
with some even being rehired despite having a criminal record for SAing minors.
On the day of sentencing for Brian, I get to the courthouse. It was the most unbelievable thing I'd ever seen. His entire side of the courtroom was full. Full. There were definitely some recognizable faces on that side of the room. And my side was me, my mom, and my brother.
PDF files, pervs, whatever you want to call them, they are going to seek out spaces that have children in them.
Hello? Anyone? I gotta get something to eat! A pickle.
We just went with it.
In family vlogging, especially this kind of vlogging where the child is the focus of the video, is basically a buffet for predators. Hate to say it, but there's no way that all 17 million people following this account are just standard upstanding citizens and regular moms and good people with no sinister ulterior motive behind watching this content.
TikTok analytics show that my followers are 76.8% female. That's more than 13 million females, including lots of moms.
There's just statistically, no, it's far more grim than that, which is why Jacqueline's statement about the FBI was not only dismissive, but upsetting.
Wren is my #1 priority, and her upbringing and safety are my top job 24 hours a day. This account has allowed me to provide for my daughter and to set aside money for her future. What you need to know is that no law enforcement agencies I conferred with, including the FBI, have found any proof that my daughter's likeness appears on inappropriate websites. These rumors are 100% false. If anyone has real tangible proof, please contact me immediately. My email appears within my TikTok profile.
One, because not everyone believes that this even happened, that she actually spoke to someone in the FBI and they actually searched the dark web to make sure her kid wasn't on it.
And the hardest truth of all, because she likes to come up here and talk about how the FBI has supposedly told her that her child's image or likeness does not show up on any dark web, shady websites. For one, I'm almost positive the FBI isn't the ones who do those investigations. So I think that story you told us was a lie, but I'm just saying.
And two, because even if it is true that she did speak to someone at the FBI and they really did not find anything, it still doesn't excuse what she's doing. If anything, the reason that there isn't anything to find on the dark web is because she's already supplying the demand. There's no reason to go to the dark web because it's already easily accessible on TikTok. You just gotta click an app on your phone and boom, kid in a bikini, eating phallic food.
But the part that she's missing is that even if, let's give the benefit of the doubt and say that the little girl's likeness and her posts and stuff actually do genuinely never show up on any shady, creepy websites, right? That does not reverse the fact that the videos have already been screen recorded. The pictures have already been screenshotted. The content has already been saved to the personal phones and in the personal picture and video albums of all the creeps who have guaranteed come across your daughter's page in the last few years. There is no reversing that damage.
Content that Jacqueline is getting paid to make. Because the Wren Eleanor account is monetized, obviously, it has brand deals and partnerships, Jacqueline is making bank, hand over fist, from a TikTok account dedicated to her daughter from infancy forward, an account that is leveraging suggestive themes to get engagement. But what really gets me the most about the Wren Eleanor TikTok account is that Jacqueline had the audacity to sit there and tell her concerned audience and critics that their fears were ridiculous because this is just a digital scrapbook.
What started out as a hobby to make a digital scrapbook for my daughter Wren grew into an interesting role for me as a single stay-at-home mom.
Okay. Well, if that were true, by the way, she wouldn't have made it public or monetized it or intentionally made suggestive content to earn a buck. Because a scrapbook, in concept and practice, tends to be personal, private, a keepsake, not exploitation. At least none of the scrapbooks I've ever seen. Anyway, the backlash from this controversy led to Jacqueline privating her Instagram for a while and even disabling comments on TikTok.
I look forward to making more videos with my daughter, and I am committed to making changes when I turn my account comments back on. I will filter them to remove offensive comments and report and block accounts as necessary. Online safety precautions that will remain in effect include disabling the ability to download or duet our videos. Stopping sexual predators is a job for law enforcement. The TikTok community, including parents, can play an active role in this effort by forwarding real evidence to help the authorities catch the creeps.
Not because she saw the light and realized how her content could be harmful or the kinds of people who could be consuming it. No, she doesn't give a fuck about that. She did it to shield herself from the tsunami-like wave of backlash that she was receiving at the time. Otherwise, she would have taken her TikTok down or privated everything there too. But she didn't, as that would have prevented her from earning revenue from her existing content, meaning that money still very much is a driving force behind what Jacqueline does, and her daughter is just a convenient meal ticket.
This account has allowed me to provide for my daughter and to set aside money for her future.
So for Alicia Doherty, over a year ago, to compare H to Wren in a video is, well, it's aged like milk.
Wren Eleanor do?
Could you imagine if Alicia started baiting with suggestive thumbnails and videos instead of stupid skits with her mini fridges? And she did it with H? There would be anarchy. So hooray for Alicia Doherty not being as disgusting of a parent? Question mark, I guess? Like, is that what you guys want me to say? That Alicia isn't as problematic and that people should leave her alone? No. Because every once in a while, I will get someone from the Doherty Dozen camp, one of her stans, who will come into my comments and throw out one of the classic, why don't you talk about actually problematic family vloggers and leave this saint, this treasure alone? Here's the thing. What Alicia Doherty is doing is, in my humble opinion, just a different flavor of what Jacqueline Paul is doing with Wren. Both women are exploiting their children for the same reason, which is clout, claim, and for money. They're just doing it differently. A difference that people like Alicia's supporters tend to split hairs over. And even though how Alicia and Jacqueline are choosing to exploit their kids may be different on paper, they're still choosing to expose vulnerable aspects of their children's lives to the internet for public consumption and a paycheck. In Alicia's case, her brand of exploitation was built on humiliation and oversharing.
When I arrived to meet him, I stopped at the gift shop and quickly bought him a Care Bear. That Care Bear has stayed by his side ever since. Care Bears heard his story and sent him their brand new Dream Bright Bear, who encourages kids to follow their dreams.
While Jacqueline's was built on sexually suggestive content and PDF file baiting. Both still remain valid examples of why conversations around family vlogging, online exploitation, and oversharing need to keep happening. As to why I prefer to talk about the Doherty Dozen over the Wren Eleanors and Ruby Frankies of the world, it's simple. Alicia Doherty is fairly benign. She's just problematic enough that this discussion about the ethics of family vlogging can be had without depressing the fuck out of me, because this shit sucks sometimes. I don't want to be bummed out. That's all. That's why. That's why I like Veronica, and that's why I like Alicia, because they're not gonna end up on a true crime podcast one day, and that's comforting in a weird way. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Anyway, that's it for me. I want to thank everyone for liking, commenting, and subscribing, with a big thank you to all of my members. As per usual, you guys rock. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!